mic, and then let's go. Is everything loaded here? Looking good. Okay, let's transition. Okay, hi everyone, I'm Clover, and welcome to our first ever live stream of my Work With Me series. I created this series because it's easier for the users of our templates to kind of understand how the templates work, but through example. So I have been using my system for years, and I still do use it. Not only do I provide it for other people to use, but I use it myself. So I'm just gonna complete a typical check-in so that you can see what it's like for me to do it on today. It looks very different every day. I must say that, depending on the time that I have. But yeah, I'll be checking into this personal hub. I moved into this copy around October. But recently, since December, it's January now, I haven't really been using it that much because I have been really like knee deep, if not deeper, into a project that I'm working on, and I am very not organized right now as it pertains to it. I am just doing it as quickly as I possibly can, just out of my head, so there's no planning in between, which is very unlike me, but it's a project that kind of calls for that. So please ignore the state of my system. It says 40 tasks out of overdue. 10 projects overdue. That's not accurate. I just have not updated this personal hub in a very long time. And when I did move into this copy, I did not move in fully. So it's kind of like an empty home with just a few things here. I have a couple other copies of my personal hub that has a lot more information in it, but I have not migrated them in yet, only partially. So I guess in another live, when I'm doing my mass migration, then I might record that and show you guys what it looks like. So this Work With Me session is mainly going to be focused on my day open, but this is not accurate to the actual time that I'm checking in for the morning. So I'm going to have to override the time for it because I checked in at 6 a.m. this morning, which is the time that the live was originally supposed to be done. But as you can see right now, it's 9:17 because of technical difficulties. But I'm good with that, I will make more lives, and it's my first time. Oh, goodness, I just selected my entire page. Just give me a moment here. Today is not my day as it pertains to the technology. And yeah, guys, I am very technologically savvy, but it is my first live stream, so I do have to learn the software, so please bear with me. I'm going to override the time for it to just be 6 a.m. just because, for the sake of this video, I can show you how that feature works. So I overrided the time for it to reflect 6 a.m. instead of 9:17. That's a way that you could kind of cheat your timestamp. But the first thing that you do to check in is create a daily check-in. For me, I like to give it a name and then a theme. You guys are getting ASMR type sounds in the background today because I don't have any background music for you because I have not had the chance to set it up, but I will. So this is the current week. It has a little label there. I haven't set it up yet. I actually created it earlier in my first version of this live stream, but it's still there. I'm going to create a habit tracker. Today is January 23rd. And that is the bare minimum of what items to create. I'm sorry if I'm super zoomed in, but Your screen is quite large. So here's a tip. For the self-reference, it's pretty easy because what you're doing is creating a reference from here, from the page that you're in, and the hack with that is that it is always the first one in the row. Okay, so for example, you're creating a self-reference, whatever is in number one, whatever is in this spot, that is what you want to click. Okay, it will automatically, it's just the one that's first in line. So that's super simple. That's a super simple tip. But yeah, I did not weigh myself this morning. I do not know what time I went to bed. I don't know. Okay, I have drank 24 ounces of water today. I have my water bottle beside me. So I've had 24 ounces so far. Steps, I'd have to check my phone. In the next iteration of our LifeOS, which will exist outside of Notion, all these things will be automatically synced. So that's great news. But also for the self-reference, for those who don't know what it does, it pretty much makes the body populate for things like this field here. If you didn't have the self-reference, it would disappear. Let's remove it because it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm reading. But when you give it its self-reference, and you always have the alert here, if you don't have it, the alert disappears when you add it. So there's that. Okay, so this is a different view of your habit tracker. It exists on your home page in another view, but I will come back to this in a few. But right now we're just kind of focusing on completing today's daily log. So in the mornings, what I do, a good rule of thumb is anything with asterisks beside it, you kind of want to do that by the end of the day. The medal I leave for the end of the day because it's like a review of how the day went. If I got no medal, if it was a bronze, if it's a silver, I kind of determine what that means for me. You can add your bad moods, your good moods, your thought capture, and everything from this little nice convenient row here, or you can go here to the database view and add them there. But the day open exercise to set up your day is in this block. So it's pretty simple. You can do this now, you can do it later. The system is very ad hoc. If you think of something and you want to do it, then you should, go ahead and do it whenever you feel like doing it. You don't have to do everything all at once because that can seem pretty like overwhelming, right? So I'm sorry, I'm thinking about my modes while I'm actually checking in. Okay, today's keywords, I am working on Stardust, which is a white paper that I'm working on that has to do with the next iteration of Common Clover, but that's what I'm working on today. And I'm also working on, do we have these study kits here? So I'm just gonna add this as a new tag. Okay, I just added it. And I'm just gonna apply its template here so that it will work. Okay. And I'm gonna add cub and clover. That's spaced, isn't it? Okay, cub and clover. There we go. So I have 3 tags, and I will explain more about what that does as I go on. I'm gonna create my live feed real quickly. This is one of the most important things in using the system. I know it seems super minor. It's just a checklist, a checkbox list, but it's super important for those who need help to stay on track during the day and during your week and kind of know exactly what you're doing, which is not in a complicated database view, but just kind of like a very highly editable format, I suppose. So most people ask about this red block here, by the way. I'm just going to explain what it means because it's a part of this. So what you do is just take the block, you copy the link to the block, okay, and you're going to sync it in your week. I have my week open right here. You find the respective day. Oh, okay, this was from the previous live feed. Ignore that. That does not exist. Okay, and now I'm gonna, since it's Monday, which is today, I'm just gonna paste and sync the block. So now when I make my changes here, I checked in, I set up my day, I synced my live feed, then it will make the change in here. So it's synced. So whatever happens here happens everywhere that this exists. So yeah, that is my live feed. I'll come back to it in a few, just to kind of show you how I do this. But yeah, I typically set up my day. I can add a day open thought. Let's see here. Let's see here. Recording my first live stream. Okay, there we go. That's fine. I'll leave it at that and just put it as a daily recap. All right, so moving down, I don't have any thoughts here to help me reframe because my bad moods have not triggered anything for me to take note of, but my motivation area is here, so it has a couple things. Because I'm feeling especially genius, my system has brought back an old thought to me, which is a note to self, that says, I am the way I am because I stick with problems longer. So the source for this one is myself. It would show up here if I actually logged it, but I didn't. For example, this one I did log. It is from a fortune cookie, and the source pops up there because I have it logged. So yeah, I am gonna read these, keep them top of mind, and it really does. Again, I've been using this system for a while, and it really does. This section is one of my favorites because it really does keep me on track. So yeah, and then I typically do my gratitude right here. Am I gonna do that right now? For the sake of time, I won't. And again, this is accurate to what actually happens every single day. I am running late. This live stream has been done over and over, and I would on a regular day skip over this section, even though it's not good. But a person who does it every day, it's okay if you skip a day. Okay, be kind to yourself. But there's that. I won't be doing that right now, but that's typically what you do here is you add your gratitude notes. You can add as many as you want, and you can add as many not to do things. It's a way to reframe the things that you are trying not to do. So today I will try not to do this, but instead I will do this. That's kind of helpful in the sense that you have the thing that you should do. So you have a suggestion of something to do. So when you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, you have the answer of something that you can switch to immediately without having to think about, like, what should I do instead of this? Well, you defined it at the beginning of your morning. So for example, if I'm making live stream videos as something that would make something great today, I am a perfectionist, so I probably would overthink the stream a lot before going in. So I would probably have my not to do list items saying, today I will try not to overthink my live streams. Instead, I will trust myself and just speak off the top of my head. So, and then I would see that everywhere I go across my system, it would pop up and remind me that that's kind of what I'm working on today. So that's kind of how that works. And I will be doing these streams every Monday just to kind of kick off the week, or probably every Sunday. Because I feel like most people are at home on Sundays, and that's a good day to plan the week. So I probably won't be doing it on Mondays. I will be doing it on Sundays. So there are things that that I won't address in this video, and I will in later videos. So by all means, subscribe if you're new here, or you're coming from our Instagram. Remember to subscribe if you want to learn more about how to use the system. So here's a habit tracker again. Have I taken my vitamins today? Yes, I have. Have I gone for my outdoor workout? I have not, so I will not check that off. But this habit tracker, as you can see, the red line around it, it's synced in many places across the system, and oops, yeah. So I'm just gonna follow my live feed. Now that it's created, it will help me to stay on track. So I'm supposed to update my habits. I just did that. I could also do it right here because it exists at multiple points in the system. Check my reminders. It was right where I was here. And typically that's when I would go through all of these different views just to ensure that I'm on top of everything. And if I need to add any new reminders, then I would, but I don't have any right now, so that's fine. Update my week, which would be here. And again, you can find these different blocks that I have open in my browser. You can find them all over. So you just have to look for the title of the block. And honestly, if you want it to be somewhere and it does not exist, all you have to do is copy and paste it and it will exist there for you. You can edit your templates to move around and change whatever you want to change. The system is designed to be completely modular. So the functionality is just, they exist within blocks so that you can move them around and kind of make your own thing without actually affecting the functionality of the system. So that's great. And it also, there's a section inside of your server room that allows you to create your own database with the same UI, UX, Windows, footer, just, you can expand the system using these things. So if you want to create a new blog, you create it, you press this button and it will give you an entire new little template thing here with the title, the descriptive line, the bar, the icon, and then you can use it and drop your own database in the bottom. And if you want a database and you want it to have the features that exist in the system, then you can just come here and create this database and edit the template and change the name of it and do whatever you want to and really make the system your own. And we will be having aesthetic kits coming soon for you to decorate and change the aesthetic of the system, but for now it comes in black and white because it's simple. So for example, I have a little mini pink row here, and I have added my own music from just a YouTube video. I just embedded it here, and this little thing here is just for show, just to keep the system kind of looking a little bit neater. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So for example, this is a link to the week that I was pretty much diverging to show you, but let's get back on track. Updating the week pretty much means if you have a task here that you haven't done, you can move it to Monday. Let's name it. You can move it to Monday, move it to whatever section, or you can move it to the other side if you'd like, or you can add it to your postpone list right here, which is a synced block that exists across all weeks. So you can always just, like, if your week is empty and you're like, I have nothing to do, you can go to your little postpone bin here, and if there's something that you want to do, you can pull it out of here and add it to your day. And you can also plan your week at like a higher level with your priorities for the week. So yeah, and you can also postpone things to next week, which is dragging them over here, and then you can pull out of here into say Friday, right? That, you know what I mean? It's kind of self-explanatory, right? I mean, not really. If you'd have to know it, so I'm gonna show it. But that's kind of how you update your week. The mindfulness exercise is what I showed you earlier, which is the not to do list, the what would make today great again, and the gratitude. Yeah, that's important. Do that every day. And then brain dump thoughts, like, is there anything on your mind in the morning? These things can that's a cool thing. I should probably show you, right? So in your thought capture, you can add, oh goodness, this is in my old personal hub. I'm sorry. I should just go from somewhere else. Yeah, thought capture from somewhere else. But yeah, if you add thoughts and they're general and they hold a couple keywords, then they, for example, if you say need to, like I need to do something, it will pop up and you don't have a task already linked to it. it will pop up in your thought to action conversion hub, which is inside of your focus pod. So that's why it's important to brain dump your thoughts. That's kind of where I'm heading. So to just brain dump your thoughts in your thought capture, it will automatically pick up what you're saying and it will filter it in this area here. So what you call it, keywords like I need to, I should, I this, that, whatever words that kind of imply that you need to do something, it will filter into here and it will ask you if you want to turn it to a task, if you want to turn it to a project. Is this some like I need, like is this something that you want? Is this something on your wish list? You can add it there. Is this a goal? Is this a project? And if not, then you can simply just press this button and it will go away and settle itself. So this is just a short list for the things that you're saying in your system. The system recognizes that you have a thought, an action thought, or some form of phrasing, and you don't have a task or project or goal or wish list item associated with it. So it helps you to revisit a thought and create tasks and projects moving on. But I'm kind of getting into explaining the system a bunch and not actually just doing my day open. So I'm going to try again to just stay on track. Okay. So I have a bunch of tasks here that are completely like they need to be resorted. So, and it is the start of the week, so I should probably do that. I do check here of the people that I need to check in with, but again, I told you I have not used the system in a very, very long time. So in almost over a month, which is pretty bad. So I haven't been keeping up to date with my catch-ups, but I like to check my catch-ups in the morning when I'm doing my day open just to see who I should talk to. And yeah, and after the day is done, you come here in this section and you do your day close, which is pretty much just to give yourself a medal, which is today. I can give myself a medal, the projects that I've planned. I'm gonna add aesthetic kits to this. Okay, and I'm gonna add Launch Blast. Please do not look at my personal information, guys. It's fine though. You won't understand half of it anyway, so that's fine. Okay, so I planned 2 projects. All of this will be reflected, by the way, on my notice board as I move throughout my system. So when I first checked in, it said I checked in 91 days ago. So far, but I checked in today, so it's 92. I'm 9% through my tasks. I only checked off one thing, which is fine. And I have 2 projects to work on today because I just planned those 2. So I'm going to just go to my focus pod and really work on my tasks because they are totally overdue and not accurate to what's actually happening. And I'm going to plan some projects for the week so that my progress bar can start working for me. Okay. Let's see here. This is the view that I love to really get. I'm sorry, I'm just reading this. I really like to get into creating. Oh, goodness. All right. I have a bunch of tasks here. I'm gonna just BRB just because I don't know what personal information is here, but what typically it is that I will be doing is I just highlight and then I drag it to the day that I want to do it. I'm gonna postpone these by that because it's like one day. I have micro tasks and subtasks in my system, so it's just all right. I'm just gonna pull these down. Whatever it is, it has to be beyond today. All right. I know I'm not working on the buildings right now. I'm working on documentation and my white paper. So These things are definitely gonna be in the future. I'm gonna email blast today though, so that is. Oh no, my baby's crying in the back, but which means I have to go soon. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and then I'll definitely try and do a better one next week. Next week Sunday. So, but. I'm sorry, I really want to touch on so many other things, but I definitely should just do a better, more concise, more planned thing on Sunday for you guys. But this is pretty much it. I would love to show you how I plan my week, but I will have to. I might even go live again today because honestly, I have nothing else doing. If I'm working, I might as well just make it live so that you guys can have information on how to use the system, because again, it is quite large, and it for example, by the way, this went down to, because it's no longer only reading my habits, it's also reading my projects. So I have 2 projects in this daily success thing to do. So the more projects you add, the harder it is to increase your thingy. But for example, I am currently doing my live. So if I have, and this is where you plan your projects for the week, by the way. Goodness, I'm so all over the place. I'm sorry, I have to leave. Okay. I hope it was good enough. I hope it was better than the first one. And also, I did just do a good, like, you see, it only took me like less than 5 minutes to really update the amount of overdue tasks that I had, right? It's pretty easy. It's not difficult to do. And there are multiple ways that you can view your tasks, so that, for example, if you have like a really large amount of tasks, you can view to see them by project, you can view to see them by sub project, by core tasks, subtasks. Like, the system is very vast, and you're not expected to use everything like all at once. You're expected to use it as needed. So let's see. There is a lot to cover here. That is what I'm realizing with this live stream, and I hope to share it with you. So in addition to these live feeds, we'll have individual block by block explanation on how everything works around each block. And within the system, you'll have a database that holds this information in the onboarding area. So I'm going to put it there for people who have direct questions while they're using the system, because I'm expecting you to have probably the same question for the same block quite a few times before it actually becomes a part of your memory. So yeah, just to kind of give an idea of how large the system is, I have so many dashboards, and all we've seen in this stream is just a single template, which is the daily log, and that is small. So if you use the system, if you're a customer and you understand what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. So let me just do a quick scroll of what my home dashboard looks like right now. I will be going over routines in another video, because this is a pretty hard feature to make, and it's actually pretty simple, but you really do need to know how to use it in order to know how to use it. And most of the work is when you have a new routine, you have to define the routine, and you have to name it, and you have to put the steps, what's inside of it. And then once you finish these check boxes here, you can pull this block into archive, and then you update the day that it was done. It was done on the 23rd, so you can update it here. I'm gonna put Jan 23rd just so I can find my daily log, add it there, and then it automatically detected that it was done today on January 23rd. It gives me a little notification saying it's done today, and it tells me when it's next due, which is tomorrow, because the frequency is daily. You have multiple frequencies that you can choose from and time of day, but as I said, I'll get into that in a different video. But yeah, I'm sorry if this wasn't great. It's my first time, but for sure, leave comments, like, subscribe, all of that jazz. I do hope to get better soon. But I hope this was helpful in some way or form for other people who are using the system. So